Hi boys and girls, this is an introduction of the 2017 writing part A. Alright, so in this one it's about social services because you're the chairperson of the social service club in your school, and there are two goals in this piece of writing. You're writing a letter first of all because in your letter you need to persuade the principal to accept your project. So what kind of project is it? It's a community project that the school can carry out, and the targets seem to be elderly in an elderly home in your district. Because your school wants to develop a closer link with the community. Here are two tips. You need to describe one activity that could be carried out. You can describe more than one, but basically you must mention at least one. Then you identify the benefits for the elderly home. Two things. Okay, benefits here tells you need to tell me two at least because it's benefits, not just one. And of course, if you're smart, if you try to convince your principal, Miss Lee, you are also trying to let them know what kind of benefits will the school get in accepting this project. I know that when it comes to helping people, we shouldn't think of what kind of benefit we should have, but it would be more all-rounded if you are trying to persuade the school by stating how it would help our students, how it would help our school, how it would help the whole atmosphere in the school if it's possible. So here is the summary. The text type is a letter, a persuasive letter. Basically, this is a proposal, but a proposal in the form of a letter that you're writing to the principal, and you're asking the principal if he can support your club's activity here. The target audience will be Miss Lee, but if you're smart, you always have at the back of your head back of your mind that there's a marker who's a teacher there. So everything you're saying has to be positive, most likely because you're trying to make the marker enjoy your writing, isn't it? So you're not going to write something really dark. You're going to write something that shows positivity and things that are logical, make sense. The tone should be formal because you're writing to the principal. He's not your friend. You two are not friends yet. Even so, this is a letter. It's black and white written on a paper. You must be formal and persuasive. Try to be polite if you can. Most of you should be able to be polite. If you remember this is a formal writing, you have to be positive as well, because you're trying to show hope that this is going to work. This project that you are proposing, you have a lot of hope in it because it's something you really want to do. So you have to show positivity. Everything needs to sound certain in this case. The purpose of this letter is to propose a new community project that the school can carry out with a home for the elderly. So that's the main purpose. But you know that this community project, the purpose of this project is to develop closer link with the community. So you have to bear in mind there are actually two purposes of this writing. All right, so we've got many strategies you can use for this topic. I've written a lot here. Okay, numbering, there's a numbering problem. I'll change it later on. All right, number one, stating the aim of this letter in the very first paragraph. You're writing to the principal. You do not have to start with how are you. This is a formal request. You are writing on behalf of the social service group club because you're the chairperson. So you can simply start by saying, I'm writing this to request for something. Okay, all right. So you start with I'm writing. State the purpose of this letter. And then number two, if you want, this is not a must, but it would be nice if you say, okay, we have a goal in social service group club. Our vision, what we hope to achieve in the long run. So you show the principal your passion when you're writing on behalf of the social service club. Okay, and then number three, details about the project. Now, I would expect you to spend maybe 2-3 lines in mentioning 1 and 2, and then for 3, I would expect you to write in at least 3 paragraphs. All right, so you mentioned the one activity or more than one activity that allows interaction between elderly and the young. Okay, what you are hoping to achieve when you visit these elders? Are you elderly? Are you trying to make them have a great day, just a one-off event, or are you trying to make something more sustainable? So this is 3B. Who are the beneficiaries? That means who will benefit from this activity? Are are you there to bring happiness to the elderly, but how are you going to give them a day that they will enjoy? But is one day enough? Will you try to create something that is sustainable, that is not too difficult for our students? I would assume that you are um, inviting students, volunteers, but of course you can also invite teachers and parents because you've got the PTA and the Alumni Association as well. So you don't have to put a lot of burden to the students. You can have the students to visit them twice. I think twice would be nice because the elderly would be able to, recognize these students and feel familiar. Um, I think twice for each group will be nice, but of course, in reality, it might be very difficult. Since this is an imaginary piece of writing, you can try to show that you're very committed, you're very engaged. Maybe visit the elderly home once per month. If you say every week, that's a bit too much, not really realistic because students are busy. But yeah, you could do that. And how one-off events, and then 3C, how the different stakeholders, so the people who are involved like volunteers, school, the community, how are they going to benefit from this project? Okay, so it depends on what project you have. It depends on what details you're giving me, and then you have to describe how is it going to bring good to different people. And then D, it's not a must, but you can try to think, oh, are you trying to raise money for the elderly home? Is there a reason why you have to raise money for the elderly home? Why and how? This is not a must. But then it's more all-rounded if you try to do these things. And then E, how to promote this event and recruit volunteers. So this would be similar to 2021 writing, recruiting helpers to open day. You can make this very simple. Maybe 4 lines, 4 simple sentences to tell the principal how you are going to recruit the volunteers. Do not write more than 4 lines because the principal wants everything to be precise and short. Okay, he doesn't have a lot of time. Number 4, show awareness to the audience. Who are the audience? In this letter, the principal, Miss Lee, is the audience, and you are trying to let her know that she is the spokesperson of the school. We really hope the school will get involved, and you, Chris Wong, you are also part of the school. So you want not just you helping out, you want the school to be backing up your project. You want the school to allow students to spend a day or half a day at the elderly home, so make special arrangements. So this would be something you want to bear in mind to get the support from school. And then 4B, stating the school's important role in this project. Like I said, if you want the school to allow students to go for these activities for half a day, can they make special arrangements for class period or, like a learning activities day? One of the activities would be the whole form going to the elderly home. That would be so much easier for you because it's then written on the school calendar. This is number 5 then. 5, create anticipation for the foreseeable success of this project. And this is something I hope you will try to instill. You try to put it every now and then to make the principal feel like, oh my God, this is going to be a great project. It's going to bring so much positivity and it's meaningful and so on. You are trying to make the principal hyped up That means very excited about this project because it is meaningful. And then number 6, this should be number 6, you can add special ideas if you can. I'll show you what the special ideas are later on in the next video after you've completed your writing. All right, about talking about the organization, you know, it's always sophisticated, signpost words. Do not make it sound like a speech. Do not make it sound like an essay. So again, here I've got some problems. It does not sound like essay. Okay, does not sound like essay. Does not sound like a speech. Yeah, so the tone must be right. The effectively links the paragraph. So we've taught you in the previous few writings what kind of signpost words you can use. And then number 2, right format of the letter. Right format of the letter would be you start with Dear Principal or Dear Miss Lee. I personally would prefer Dear Principal, because you're not really good friends with Miss Lee, okay? Unless Miss Lee used to be your teacher and then she got promoted to be the principal, maybe it's acceptable because you two know each other. Then you can say Miss Lee. Otherwise, Dear Principal. And you never know how strict the marker is. Maybe the marker will think, oh, this is, you know, like the proper way should be Dear Principal because you're making a formal request. Number 2B, stating the purpose of this letter. Yes, that's part of the format. Now, C, thank you at the end, and you hope that they will accept your suggestion. Don't say proposal. This is not a proposal. It's a proposal written in the form of letter. So you end with thank you. Please consider our suggestions and looking forward to your reply. Okay, you want response, so you must mention looking forward to your reply. You end with best regards is always correct. And then Chris Wong, and I forgot to write one more Chris Wong here, which is the signed name, then the typed up name, and then the title of Chris Wong. So what kind of post he has in social service club. All right, for language, use of conditionals, modal verbs to show possibility and certainty. What I mean is, you could say, if our students go there and do this and that, we can definitely bring. We can is a modal verb. So I would expect you using lots of we can, we will, to show how certain you are about the success of this project, because you're convincing the principal that your project will work. And that's why you need to use a lot of we can, the elderly can, the students can, the teachers can, the school can. All right? Sophisticated wordings. I'll show you examples after you hand in your work. Rule of 3. I looked at both sample writings. I didn't see students using it, but do remember, rule of 3 can be used even in a formal writing. You do not need to use it too many times when it's a formal writing. You can use it once. If it's an informal writing, you can use it maybe maximum 3 times. Don't overuse it, otherwise it sounds really unnatural, okay? Number 4, appropriate tone and text type. We've talked about it. Number 5, add sophisticated language patterns like inversion. In the sample writing, I saw the student failing to use inversion, very close to inversion, but not exactly inversion. You get the sample writing after you submit your work. And finally, passive voice if you can. Please add passive voice in your writing. I would expect a lot of passive voice being used, describing what can be done. Okay, what can be done, what the elderly will have in return, and so on. All right, so that would be it. Good luck in your writing. I would say most of the candidates will write 2.5 pages long. Time yourself. Good luck, everybody. I'm looking forward to read your work. Bye.